Here's what I learned about your business from the world's worst car. So down in Mexico, we don't actually have a car yet because we need a temporary residency card in order to purchase one, to my understanding. If you know otherwise, let me know in the comments. Anyway, so we've been renting a car, and we're renting a car for a couple months while we're here. So we had a Dodge Journey, which was okay, but it was a 5-seater. We have 6 people in our family, right? Obvious issue. But in Mexico, apparently, there's no, you see people on scooters here with 4 people on the scooter, including like a 2-year-old or a baby right in the front. So like the law is very loose down here when it comes to, rules of the road. So anyways, our little guy's been sitting on my wife's lap in the passenger seat while we're driving. It's fine. So anyways, we decided to look into a 6 or 7-seater to see if that'd be a better option. And so the rental company swapped us for a different car, which was a 7-seater, I think. And so we gave the Dodge Journey back in exchange for the world's worst car that I've ever driven in my life. And it's called the Chevrolet the Chevrolet Captiva. Now, I'm going to share why this car is the worst car I've ever driven, but more importantly, what it has to do with your business. This is not a car channel. This is about growing your health business. So number one, this car is $25,000 to buy, okay? I was paying $5,000 a month to rent it, which is absolutely fucking crazy. So within 1 week of driving this car, it wasn't even the financial cost, but it was how bad the car was that I just literally exchanged it to bring the Dodge Journey back. Now, like financially though, like $5,000 a month to rent a car that's $25,000 to buy is just crazy considering how bad the car was. So think of the most basic of basic, like, no electric seats, like you have to like pull the bar and move it around. I think it had electric windows. That was probably the only perk. It wasn't like the roll, wind down windows. It was such a bad car to drive. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, this is so awful. Here's the lesson, is you always get what you pay for in life. Yet again. Now, I have 2 McLarens that are several $100,000 each. And when I compare those to this car, it's not even like in the same universe. And that's actually the only thing I'm looking forward to when I get back home is driving those cars, because that's, I don't have them down here. But it's just like, I want you to think of this for your business. If you are offering something on the cheap because you think that people are not willing to pay premium dollars for the best, I want you to please reconsider that line of thought. Because yes, you are correct. There will always be people who can't afford premium price points, but it's not your problem to work with them. It's your decision if you want to. So if someone can't afford to work with you, that's their problem. If they don't see the value, that's your problem. Like, you have to do a better job articulating the value of your solution, your coaching program, of your service. But if someone is like living on disability and they have no money, it's not your job to work with them. Like, you can't help everyone. You can't save everyone. Let that person figure things out on their own or through a different medium. But it doesn't need to be you. And maybe it is, but that's a choice. Think of hotels. I use this example all the time. You go to the Four Seasons Hotel, you're going to have a very, very different experience than if you stayed at Motel 6 or Motel 8, whatever it is. However, there's a very different price tag, right? You're going to pay 10 times as much for a hotel room at the Four Seasons. But what are you going to get with that? Exceptional service, a much cleaner bed, a wonderful surrounding. You go to Motel 8 or Motel 6 off the highway, you're like, when am I getting out of here? So I want you to consider, when you are making a decision around how to price your service, your expertise, your coaching program, it's do your best to get out of what we call making a decision for someone else out of your pocket. So you're not selling out of your pocket. What that means is you're starting to project what other people can afford based on your own belief system. You think that a $10,000 coaching program is expensive. Don't put that on someone else. One of our clients, Marcy, she was actually just telling me on a coaching call yesterday, she was $40,000 last month. And she said, the only thing I did was, she actually worked through a lot of our money code. This is one of the programs that we give our clients called Money Code. She simply worked through that material where I'm basically like helping it's a wealth conditioning program. So I'm reconditioning, your brain to think about money and wealth, and you're deserving of all that in a much, sorry, I just got freaked out by a spider. It's on the wall. Oh my God. We won't cut this out of the video, but that was, if I could move the camera right now, this is going to be slightly distracting. It's about the size of the palm of my hand here. So I'm just going to take a breath. Side note, I'm actually pretty good at spiders now. So I've always had like this arachnophobia. But honestly, here's the thing is when you're exposed to whatever it is over and over again, you actually get very comfortable with it. So this guy right here, no big deal. First time I came to the house and we saw one on the wall, I couldn't sleep at night. Now I'm shooting a video literally with the same spider and he's maybe 1.5 feet away from me on the wall. These guys are super fast. So I'm not going to like try to chase them or do anything crazy. Anyways, well, let's use this as an example. Okay. So in psychology, there's a term called successive approximation. So if you're scared of something, you just keep moving closer towards it until you realize it's okay, right? So in the context of pricing, if you're afraid of pricing your service at a certain level because you think people are going to say no, or that you're like greedy or whatever, then all you do is you increase your price a little bit and you go up and you go up and you go up until you find that sweet spot for you. And the most important thing is you have the confidence and conviction to get behind that. So with Marcy, she went from $3,000 to $10,000. She didn't go from 3 to 4 to 5. I believe she went from 3 right to 10. She enrolled 4 clients. Like no objections, nothing. But here's the thing is that she did the work so she could have that conviction that it was a steal. So one of the easiest ways to move into that realm is, again, using this idea of successive approximation where you don't have to go from 3 to 10,000. You might just go from 3 to 3,500. Just like being surrounded by spiders every now and again doesn't really bother me that much. Now, I'm not saying, thankfully, we actually don't have a lot of creepy crawlies here. And this guy here, no big deal. I was actually playing tennis last week, and like we finished one of the games, and I was playing with the tennis pro, and we have a tarantula that walks on the court. And he's like, oh, this is one of our local friends. He comes on the courts every now and then. And I've actually never seen a tarantula in person. And it was it was fine, right? It was like, it's not a dangerous spider. It was, it's just like this furry friend. So I look at, creepy crawlies like spiders or anything else. And you think about why do these things scare us? Why does charging more scare us? Why does, trying to please everyone feel better? And I think, to be honest, a lot of it is just being comfortable in our comfort zone. But the thing is, your comfort zone will expand. Like your comfort zone, my comfort zone has expanded with respect to creepy crawlies because I've been around them now for the past couple months. And honestly, they're not that bad. And thankfully, it's not like we're living in the jungle, which in that case, it would be way worse. But even then, you get used to it. And so here, it's, you get used to that higher level of whatever it is you're thinking about. Right now, if I had stayed in the Chevrolet the Chevrolet Captiva, then I would have lowered my standards and I would have stayed playing small. Now, the thing though is that my tolerance for my standards now is so much higher because of the experiences I've had over the years and because of how my life has elevated from when I used to live in a tiny 800 square foot apartment when I was dead broke. We had our mastery clients here the other week, and we wanted to host the event here at the house because it's a very expansive view. I mean, you can kind of get a grasp of it, but it's, when you're in the main floor and all you see is Pacific Ocean, it's like, holy shit. And we had, clients that are like, I have never stayed anywhere like this, like high-end resorts, anything, nothing. And I'm like, I know. That's why we built it for a reason like this. But part of why I wanted to host our clients here was to expand their thinking, was to get out of the Chevrolet Captiva thinking and think about absolute abundance and expansiveness. Because when you start to put yourself in environments where Chevrolet Captiva type of experiences are just not good enough, they just disappear out of your reality. And if you think of that from a context of clients, like if you want to attract amazing clients, then you have to be an amazing person to begin with, right? You attract who you are. So if you want better quality clients, it starts by you doing the work and not settling for shit. Don't say things like, it's okay, it's not too bad. No, it's horrific and it's very bad, because all the problems that I've experienced in my life and in my business are because of that. It's like, it's not too bad, it's okay. No, it's end of the world. I mean, you don't have to be overly dramatic about it, but if you are not, then you change nothing. And I'll finish with this. Many years ago, I was flying back from New York, 1 hour flight to Toronto, and I ran into my mentor at the time, Dan Sullivan from Strategic Coach. And I was flying in the back of the plane because I'm like, at the time I wasn't really flying business class, and it was only an hour flight and he was flying business class. And I asked him, I'm like, you fly business class for like a 1 hour flight? She's like, all the time. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, it's about the standard. And I was like, huh, interesting. He also has a model, which I love, which is he doesn't do anything at home he wouldn't do at the Four Seasons. So do you think he does his own cleaning? Do you think he does his own cooking? No, none of the above. He outsources, delegates, gives it to other people that are better suited at doing those things so he can focus most of his energy on what he loves to do most, right? So whatever that is for you. I mean, being here in Mexico, it's amazing, right? It's going to be very hard to go back home because here everything's taken care of. We have a chef, cleaning people. It's awesome. It gives me more time to do nothing if I don't want to do anything. I can literally sit in a chair and look at the ocean. That's awesome, right? I can sit, I can think, I can focus, I can spend more time with my kids, I can work out, I can go play tennis, I can do videos like this. I don't have to worry about making breakfast. All of this to say that what hopefully you're picking up from this video, and thankfully because of the introduction of this spider, is that you get in life what you pay for, okay? And you can create an amazing experience for yourself by raising your standards, but also creating an amazing experience for your clients by raising the price, which also means that the standard and experience of what they're going to go through is much more elevated as well. So I hope this video lands well for you. If it does, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, I wanted to acknowledge our guest today, which is this mysterious spider that none of you guys can see, unfortunately. But it's there. And again, it's, stay tuned. Maybe we'll see one in the next video. Anyways, thanks for hanging around. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, if you want to grow a thriving online coaching business. And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao. So I don't know if this is bad financial advice, but I'm going to share a perspective I was sharing with a friend of mine recently who's asking about should he invest $300,000 and pay $127,000 in interest on that investment.